What's up, Taiwan? I'm Yvonne Young with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. The water level in central Taiwan's Sumlin Lake has dropped 3.5 meters in 2 weeks, as a month-long drought shows no signs of easing. It's another sign of the country's ongoing water shortage, which could become Taiwan's worst drought in more than 75 years. The lack of rainfall is being linked to La Niña, a weather phenomenon that has brought lower temperatures to the Pacific west of South America and more extreme ones to Taiwan. This could make cycles of prolonged droughts and extreme flooding more frequent in the future.
去年的年底到今年年初这段时间，反圣婴的讯号已经开始慢慢的减弱了，所以在未来的这几个月，这个地球的圣婴现象会逐渐步入正常的这一个区间，所以反圣婴的现象现在这个时间点是正在结束。
The Taiwan International Festival of Arts is currently underway, and one production in particular is captivating local audiences. It tells the stories of humanitarian workers in conflict zones. Pounding beats, like the sound of a war drum or heartbeats. This is the play Dona Monsieur de l'Impossible, directed and written by the director of Festival d'Avignon, Tiago Rodriguez. It's a part of Taiwan International Festival of Arts, also known as Tifa.
Tifa 艺术节呢，今年已经迈向第15年了。那Tifa 也是亚洲区非常重要的一个艺术盛会哦，所以我们常常会定位这个艺术节，它是一个台湾看世界，世界看台湾一个很重要的表演艺术节。那疫情过后呢，其实我们也等待了3年，才有机会重新再打开国门，迎接全世界最棒的艺术家来到了台湾。
Tifa opened in February and will run until May the 14th. In total, the festival will host 19 plays, each with very different subject matters. Dona Monsieur de l'Impossible tells the stories of humanitarian workers in war zones. The production is intentionally minimalist, with only 4 actors and 1 percussionist. The play opened at a fitting time when it debuted in January 2022. Just 1 month later, Russia invaded Ukraine.
我们从这个作品中其实看到了，人性的美，它的尊严跟韧性之外，也看到了我觉得剧场的魔幻力。
The play is not about showcasing war itself, but the stories of those who are working to save lives in conflict zones, of what they've seen and of what they've done. The singer of Oscar-winning song Natu Natu has received a massive welcome after returning to India. Huge crowds of fans greeted Rahul Sibligunj at the airport when he arrived in his home city of Hyderabad over the weekend. Beating out tracks from Lady Gaga and Rihanna, Natu Natu from the film RRR is the first ever song from an Indian film to win an Academy Award. This year's Oscars saw several historic wins for Asian and Asian American talent. The night's biggest winner, Everything Everywhere All at Once, took home 7 Oscars, including Best Picture. The movie's lead, Michelle Yeoh, also became the first Asian woman to win Best Actress in the Academy's 95-year history. This year's Oscars marked some change since the hashtag #OscarsSoWhite began to trend 8 years ago. That year, out of 20 actors nominated, none were people of color. For more on how representation at award shows has evolved, our reporter Joyce Zen spoke with theater professor Shanti Pillai from Williams College.
Given your expertise in Asian and Asian American performance, what does this year's Oscars signal to you?
Well, I think the past week is clear evidence that there has been an evolution. It's really a historic moment in time that we see these wonderful Asian actors recognized for their wonderful work, that we see actors in roles that are not stereotypes. So I think there's no doubt that the world has changed very much certainly since the beginning of the film era and even well into the 20th century, when we had characters who were very, very stereotypical, rather than as complex, noble human beings.
What are some obstacles or questions you see coming out of this year's Oscars?
Well, I guess the first question that it raises in my mind, in the minds of many of us who as scholars consider these issues is to think about how we register what progress towards what we commonly refer to now in the United States as diversity, equity, and inclusion would be. What constitutes progress, and whether a very elite film academy giving awards to superstar actors is in and of itself indicative that a society has progressed.
As you mentioned, the issue of diversity and representation is incredibly complex. Are there any specific lessons that you see coming out of this year's awards?
One example I thought to name here today was that shows to me some of the complexity of this win this past week. We all know that this film, this mega global blockbuster, RRR, a film from India, won for Best Song, but the song was performed, as the best song usually is, on stage during the Oscar proceedings, and it seems that there were no South Asian identified dancers in the group of dancers who performed that number at the Oscars. How is it possible that in a night in which there's so much celebration about representation of Asians and Asian Americans, that even the dance number that accompanies the song from the Indian film does not have South Asian representation? And one other little example is that Jimmy Kimmel, the host for the Oscars this year, referred to the film RRR as a Bollywood film. Well, Bollywood refers to the Hindi language movie industry in India, but RRR is not a Hindi film, it's a Telugu film.
That was Shanti Pillai, theater professor at Williams College in Massachusetts, USA. Many businesses are still dealing with the after effects of the pandemic. Asia reopened later than much of the world, but now tourists are returning, and one coffee shop in Japan has found foreigners lining up outside its doors, thanks to TikTok. Louis Watt reports.
With rapid right-hand swoops, 80-year-old Mori Shizuo serves about 50 puddings a day in his small Tokyo coffee shop. These flings of the arm help dislodge the custard from the tin. It's a technique that has earned him a worldwide audience via videos his customers spread on TikTok and other social media.
お客さんがこう映してるとか見せてくれるから、あ、こういうものかっていうのは分かります。ね、お客さんがみんな私がテレビ出たりしてると、それをこうなってますっていうふうに教えてくれ、かつまた見せてくれるから、そういう点では分かるかな。
Mori's been surprised by his social media fame and the lines of foreigners queuing up outside his coffee shop now that Japan has lifted its pandemic border restrictions.
I saw it on TikTok and it seemed like a very nice local story. And to be honest, I'm a big cream caramel fan.
Japan, like Taiwan, reopened to tourists in October. In March, Japan's tourism agency said that visitor numbers broke 1 million for a third straight month in February. But that's still down 43% from before the pandemic. Like many, Mori struggled through the pandemic. Now, thanks to social media, his coffee shop is recovering. He's just sorry that, with all his new fans, there aren't enough puddings to go around. Klein Wong and Louise Watt for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally, we leave you with images of the beach volleyball competition in Miami. I'm Yvonne Yang. Take care and see you next time.